Good morning, good morning, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the sarcastic barman and welcome to my channel. You're an idiot. Your argument's fucking stupid. You dropped on the head as a child. To some stupid, ignorant, ignoramusly ignorant stupidness. Got a bit of goddamn stupid that's gonna make me scream. No, you cocked that up, didn't you? You want me to think the human body can go that fast without being smushed to a pancake? I do the most stupid things in the world. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the sarcastic barman, and welcome to another night of See You Next Tuesday, a show that's 32% FA League problems, 47% rum problems, 82% Jaeger problems after the weekend. Jesus, thank you very much. Those generally shady. I think the maths is wrong again. God damn it, one week I will get this right. As always, running the buttons, playing with the show, and doing all the twiddly widdly 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 woolly bits, we've got Michelle Colon. How are you doing, Co?
I'm not very happy right now this week because it's been a bad start to it, considering some news that got dropped by 6 Premier League football teams and 6 European football teams, and I am absolutely livid right now. So it's not been a good start. I've been talking about heritage an awful lot and how it's making me feel. Apart from that, yeah, life's pretty good. I'm okay.
That's all right then. You and your football. It is getting a lot of news, though. I will be fair. It is everywhere at the moment.
Tell me about it. I was trying to think about making a clip for it tonight, but we might just talk about it quickly. For those people who are in the chat don't understand what football is. That's not the game you throw the ball. It's the one you kick it. It's called soccer in your country.
Yeah, not hand egg, soccer.
Yeah. Hand egg is rugby. That's his game.
Yes, much better game. Much better game. But joining us this week is one of my absolutely awesome, spectacular members who I have seen a picture. He's wearing my blue sarcastic barman t-shirt, which is really awesome. Mitch, how you doing, Squire?
I am doing splendid, barman. It's great to be here. Colon, wonderful to see you again, like I do just about every day. Great to see everybody out there. Glad you could join us today. It's going to be fun as hell.
It should be a good laugh. It's really good of you to join us. Thank you very much for that. And yes, go on.
Yeah, I'm just want to know, Mitch, are you trying to say I get around a bit?
I'm trying to say you get around a lot.
Oh, don't tell that to Mrs. Colon.
Yeah, definitely don't. She's listening.
Oh, I'm sure she's well aware, Colon. Don't worry about that.
She pimps him out at weekends. That's why he's too busy to do shill streams at the moment. He's on pimp outness.
Oh no, I'm doing a lot of research in the background and prepping the new software so it all works properly. So that's my goal at the moment.
Nice. But yeah, so Mitch, for anyone who doesn't know you, what do you want to say to everyone? Tell us about yourself or anything you're willing to say about yourself. Obviously, don't dox yourself or anything.
I'm not going to dox. Well, I'm actually pretty out there in the public, so I'm not too worried about doxing. But I don't need to have anybody visit me either, so I'll keep it nice and light. I am an actual scientist, although I do not practice as a scientist. I do work as I'm a director for a Silicon Valley company, and I'm responsible for their organizational strategy. I don't know what that means because I just started a week ago. But I'm sure I'll figure it out, and I promise we should spool this up maybe every 420. Maybe we'll do next year and see what I've learned since then. But I'm actually trained in chemistry and physics. So I really understand those things. And like I said, I haven't practiced it in a long time. So I find these debunking very amusing because I like to talk about that kind of stuff. I don't get to do it for work. So chatting with you guys about science is my main outlet right now. And I just love it. It's great to see the conversations that go on, not the debunking conversations, but the education that we get while we're having a really good time is definitely worth it.
Nice. I've got one that's going to make you giggle then. Colon, could we look at the TV for a moment with the little floaty head that I made earlier? Because I think that's going to amuse Mitch. We could ask him the physics ramifications of that. I was Gem Panda's server earlier this afternoon. Oh, it was only about 5 o'clock. And Spurs, when asked where comets came from, and meteorites, came up with this absolute treasure trove.
Oh, God, this hurts.
It could be something else. I can only think of giants playing sport over the wall or volcanoes shooting them out. What else could it be?
So, yeah, Spurs thinks meteorites and comets are obviously giants playing sports on the other side of the wall, or they're being shot out of...
It could be something else. I can only think of giants playing sport over the wall or volcanoes shooting them out. What else could it be? It could be...
There you go. Sorry, I'm just trying to get his picture on the screen.
Fair enough. Nick, as a basic sort of physics thing, how big would a giant roughly you reckon need to be, or how hard to hit something to send it from the other side of the ice wall to say Russia or somewhere like that?
Well, first off, let's walk this back a little bit. First off, things that fall on the Earth come in all sorts of sizes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are quite tiny, right? They're about the size of maybe a grain or sand or a little bigger. And they just oxidize, they burn up in the atmosphere, they vaporize in the atmosphere. Sometimes we get things that hit the Earth that are a little bit bigger, say the size of the palm of your hand, maybe, and we'll get a chunk that's big enough to have survived the atmosphere and will actually fall onto Earth. And we call that a meteorite, right? And then sometimes, every now and then, a quite large one hits the Earth. And what happens then is all life is ended. So we have quite a very large spectrum of objects that the giants must be playing with. And none of them really, or very few of them, are like the size of anything that you could call a toy.
Yeah, or look like a ball.
Oh, hardly.
They're not sewn up with leather or anything like that. They all seem to be like rocks and ice and very odd.
It seems to me that the whole giant thing and like the mud fossil guys and all these, they are rooted in one incorrect interpretation of the Bible that says that there were originally giants that walked the earth. So this is another one of those things where the idea gets injected because it speaks to the creationism narrative. Okay. Now I can tell you that what is meant by giants in Hebrew is really like, you could translate it very well as really quite tall, quite big people who were really tough and mean. It doesn't mean that they were necessarily giants like Grimm's fairy tale sort of giants, or, Jack and the Beanstalk sort of giants. So that's just way off. The intention is to give credence to creationism, something that I vehemently deny. One of the other things I didn't introduce myself is I'm also Jewish, and I grew up in an Orthodox home, and I went to yeshiva, which is a private Jewish school, kind of similar to Catholic school, but no beatings. And I studied the Torah and Hebrew intensely. At the time, I was quite young. I was fluent in modern Hebrew and ancient Hebrew. And I know the Bible, or what we call the Torah, very, very well. And I can tell you, there are no fucking giants here.
Colon, you wanted to get in there?
Yeah, just a couple of comments from the side. Wodentoe puts down Meteor wrong. Am I right? Am I right? And Arduin says, sarcastic barman. So are we the angry neighbour that refuses to give the ball back after it landed in our backyard?
I loved that comment. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah. And I'm just going to ask one thing. If you can get the guy's signature on a contract, I want that giant playing for Liverpool next year, if we're still in the bloody Premier League. If he can kick a ball that far and that hard, I want him.
You wouldn't have a stadium left.
Oh, my God.
So true.
So how to get through the dome, then? How to get through the dome?
Well, according to Spurs, there isn't really like a dome solid-y thing. You know what he's like. He just changes his answer to fit with things. So
it's kind of interesting. That's another thing that they use to kind of reinforce the creationist lie, which is a mistranslation of firmament. That's not really the word that was, if you read it in the original Hebrew, that's not really what the intention is, that there was any sort of barrier. The actual word kind of means divide or separate. It doesn't mean, firmament is a very bad translation. Dome is an absolutely freaking dreadful translation.
What was more amusing was first though, I asked him for evidence of the giants, and he says, "Well,
Yeah.
you know those bones for dinosaurs."
Oh,
Really, the
dinosaurs.
giants. I was like, "What?" I asked him, "Well, so millions of years ago they were giants instead of dinosaurs." Like, "Oh, there wasn't millions of years ago." I thought, "Oh, I'm just leaving this before I end up shouting at him because everyone was shouting at him." Yes.
So millions of years ago, before the Earth was formed, that millions of years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, Barman, I'm just a bit concerned now because if the T-Rexes were playing football, they couldn't throw the ball back in.
No, they couldn't. They'd have to, I don't know, eat it and spit it out. I'm not sure.
They got two short arms.
So just before we get into it, I have actually, turns out that on my channel, I have 79 followers. I just want to put that out there. That I think that's kind of amazing because I never asked for any. So I've gotten 79 followers with absolutely zero effort. And I think if I do have some time, I am going to put together a educational thing kind of along the lines of Professor Dave Explains, another friend of mine and a great hero of mine, or a social media hero, to talk about carbon-14 and carbon dating and what that's all about, because there's a lot of misunderstanding about carbon-12, carbon-14, and what carbon dating is.
That would be a good one. Look forward to that.
Wouldn't that be a good one?
If you've got the link for your channel, feel free to drop it because I don't think I've got it. I've got your Mitch Gold, the same name you got now. I don't know if that's the right one with 18 subs on it. So I'm taking it from
I have another one. Actually, it's funny how that started because I did, when Mr. Sensible's daughter had gotten married, he asked for some people to do to fill in for him, sort of.
Oh,
right?
yes.
And so I did the one video, which is up there. If you want to see it, it's there, I guess. Yeah, let me get that I'll throw those up there. I am definitely going to do that video. I don't think I have 0 videos. Yeah, so that's why I'm probably not getting a whole lot of really good traffic. But I will put it up on the chat right now. Just give me, I got to go back to myself and then,
that's fine. Colon.
Yes. So let's get rid of him now. Okay, so there was something else that happened this week. The end
you're
of
going
last
to be
week
evil,
that
aren't
everybody
you?
was being really, really proud of, and it's such a fantastic thing. Welcome back, Ranty. Thanks for seeing reality, and thank you, Bev, for doing the observation that backed up another observation, and that gave Ranty a little bit more credence for coming across. However, flatzoid. Ladies and gentlemen, Flatzoid FE.
Well, I'm sure most people have seen this picture going around with Ranty, Cats and Ruif. They claim it's actual curve. I'm just going to explain to you and show you with demonstration that it's just literally perspective and occulting due to the limited angle. Okay, yeah, I took measurements on Google Earth from the Velvet Trail car park to Blackpool Tower and to the mountains behind it. And yeah, I did the orthographic view. Now it would really be to scale, because it seems that Ranty and them don't want to do it to scale because they're trying to be dishonest.
Hold on. Hold the F on straight away. He's done an orthographic view. And he's calling on Ranty, Cat, Ruhif as being dishonest. Now, obviously, people need to go and actually look at this video by themselves as time goes by and have a look at this graphic. Because if you look at the Blackpool Tower that he's put in, and then take the idea of where it is at the top there across to the mountain. I have a feeling Blackpool Tower, in relation to that mountain, is probably about 250 to 300 feet. This is not to scale.
Hell no.
Flatzoid is definitely trying to scam people on this and put out disinformation. Ranty and Ruhif and Katz did a very bang-up job on that, showing it in the view Ranty wanted to see it and understand it. And now they're turning it into an orthographic view. Katz did that. So how were they being dishonest, Flatzoid? Anyway, I'll pass it over to you, and shall we play them for a little bit, or do you want to?
Oh, I was just going to say, it's a flat earther. They just do what flat earthers do, which is lie and twist facts to fix what they want. Because then, if they don't make us much money. It's as simple as that. I for this week's video, I went to go and look at Nathan Oakley's channel because the one the other week went so well. All his live streams are members only.
Yeah.
It's like, well, not going there then.
Oh yeah,
and I've actually managed to sneak in. I guess last year, we snuck into some of his. He is an abusive son of a bitch, man. He is just unbelievable. And all I think about is what must have happened to that poor soul as a child for him to turn out to be such a giant dick. In addition to being fucking stupid.
Because he's got a really small dick. That's why he's like that.
Is that it? You see, I don't know what that's like, so I cannot get into that mindset.
everybody, no, and this is straight from Oakley's actual mouth. Everybody calls him an actor. Well, he did go to drama school.
Yeah,
and he got a BTEC in it too. So yeah.
We've got just a quick one before we play some more from Wad and Toad. Which is better, members only or only fans? Which would you rather Nathan had?
That's a trick question.
That is a trick question. Oh dear me. We'll play some more, which you'll see.
Okie doke, carry on.
I'm just going to show you how it's literally just optical occultation due to the limited angle. See, I've made Dalcray, the mountain that's behind it, in Blackpool Tower. I've made it more than double its size, just to give just a scaled down version. Yeah, I've more or less put them down, the scale version down. You see how it is sinking.
Oh my god.
Obama, you have a little word about this now?
He's taking the fucking piss. What scale is he even trying to use at this point? I made the mountain twice as big as Blackpool Tower. Really? Really? I should fucking hope at least twice as big, if not fucking bigger. Fuck, it's a fucking mountain. Fuck my life.
Can I tell you a funny story, Barman?
Go for it.
I was in Seattle one time, and Motley Crue were playing at Seattle Center. So they had the tower in Seattle there, the needle, right? The Space Needle. You're familiar with that? It's a very tall tower.
Yeah.
And it was open late that night. So it was about 9 o'clock at night in February. So it was pitch black out. But we got to go to the top of this phenomenal tower and kind of look around at Seattle at night and see the crowd down there. And there was this elderly couple that were standing there just staring off into the darkness. And I was just struck up a conversation with them. They're looking, I'm looking. And they're like, what are you trying to see? And they're like, oh, we're trying to see if we can see Mount Rainier. And it's like, Mount Rainier is this gigantic volcano that you can see from miles around, but not at night. Cannot be seen at night.
Well, I would hope they wouldn't be seeing it because it'd be erupting if it was.
And then she said, oh, well, I thought they would light it up at night so people could see it. So you're talking about people who have absolutely no idea of how enormous a mountain is. It's bigger than you think it is.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Just to get back to this video a little bit, so he's using a camera either on a phone or on a proper camera, and If it's a proper camera, the lens has a focal point in the middle or a central point. So doesn't that mean that this camera would be possibly about 200 foot off the ground in this instance?
At least.
Yeah.
Just a thought pattern. I'm not saying it is, but I'd like to see the evidence of how this image was taken rather than just listening to Flatzoid, Mr. 11 Frames, tell us that it is.
Oh my God. Well, here's what I love about flat earthers. We, as scientists, we tell them, look, the Earth is round, but it's really, 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 really big. And the reason you can't see the curve is because it's so goddamn big, and you are so small. And it just seems outrageous to me that we say, and the reason why you can't see the curve is because you have to look at it at the scale in which it appears, which has to be enormous. Yet we always see these experiments from these clowns where they say, oh, well, we're going to reproduce this experiment on my kitchen counter. As somehow that is going to be sufficient enough. And we actually figured it out. I guess it was on Mr. Sensible show. We figured out that you have to, in order to actually see, you need to be outside that, say, 3 to 4 kilometer range. You can actually observe the curve, not on your kitchen counter.
We've got a great point from Wad and Toad to make this experiment fit in properly for flat earthers. We need a camera taking a video of the cameraman taking a video of the video being taken, just to make sure he's not doing any funny business, because that's what they accuse us for.
I think we should go into a GoFundMe and build our own tower and our own mountain and see if we can't reproduce the experiment.
Oh, Mitch, you bad man.
Right.
Just to finish this off, Barman, just to make something absolutely clear, just in case Mr. Fatsoid decides to pop over here and watch this. We are not going to watch any more of this video because you have not provided any proof or evidence to back anything you're saying up. We are 1 minute in of a 2-minute video, so that's just under 50%, actually, for where we are. And we broke the video up into 20 to 30 second segments so that we could rip it apart.
Yes.
Fair use covered.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah, right.
Definite commentary. And definite side trackery as well.
Yeah, anyway.
Wad and Toad also...
I just wanted to get that in because obviously Mr. Stencil's been having a bit of trouble with him recently.
Yes.
Which obviously knows, which was in that chat with us all.
Yeah. Wad and Toad also points out that we need our own Earth first to be able to do the experiment. We can't do it on this one. We need to make a scale model of Earth to do it, obviously.
Yeah, we should call the Magrathians and see if they have some.
Yeah, thanks, Larty Bartfast. No, booking his schedule is all booked up at the moment.
I told you it wasn't important.
Oh, we've got to love some Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy references. Always for a win. Oh, but Flat Earth, good God. Could they get any worse?
Yeah.
How?
Well, one good thing about Flat Earth is they don't appear to be particularly violent. And I think it's just a matter of time before one of them loses it. I think that's going to come very soon. I just think so.
I think it'll be Oakley before it's Pratt.
Oh.
Or maybe even Thompson.
Oh, definitely.
I tell you, CC is going to be in the paper one day.
Oh, definitely. He's going to run some over.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the win. I think that's all the time we should give to Flat Earthers because they've had enough. What are we on? 26. I think we can get some TikToks in because I think there's some funny ones here that'll make Mitch go, what the actual fuck have you done to me? Why?
I'll tell you what I will do. I will wish everyone a happy 420. And I will suggest that if that is something that appeals to you intellectually, that we all partake around the globe together because Unfortunately, the show will end before it's 420 here, but it's already been 420 in the UK. So we'll just make now our 420 before the TikToks come.
Yeah, 420 on the 20th of the 4th.
See, we do it the other way around over
May the
here.
20th be with you.
Not long to that. May the 4th. We'll get that one. We still have that one because it's weird how we do it like that though. It's the 20th of April, but it's always May the 4th. Go on then, Colon. Let's see what stupidity I've picked for this week.
Smite us.
Oh, Barman.
Yeah.
I just looked at the calendar.
Yes.
Did you realise that May the 4th is a see you next Tuesday?
Oh, even better. Oh, well, I've probably booked out that far as well. I'll just see who's on my sheets. On my sheet, I've actually... Well, no, my dates are all naffed up. I've got the right order, but the dates go wrong. I think, obviously, Open Office doesn't like... Because I've got next week sorted. So that's that week. That's Kendon is the week after.
Oh, it's Kendon.
Yes. Oh, yeah, 4th May.
Park.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's Kendon. Yes, that will be good. We'll have lots of Star Wars references. More.
Okay, I'll have to make sure I get the script done. God. Right,
Oh,
TikTok.
TikTok. Do it.
Right.
In England, you either talk like this, how's it going, mate? Or you talk like that.
What language do they think I'm speaking in? BT Mongolian? No silly bollocks, this same as your country. Load of different accents, you fucking salad.
I just love the insult of you fucking salad. It's like, what?
Great. I must remember that. I told you it.
Oh, that was funny.
I told you these can be educational videos as well.
Hell yes.
That's just great.
The Yorkshire accent, though, and to be fair, his accent wasn't even that harsh.
No,
I could understand him.
Yeah, it can be worse than that, big time.
Oh yes. Right, let's have. Yeah. Let's have the next one because this will be a good question for Mitch afterwards.
Okay,
right.
You're a burglar, but you're only stealing things that slightly inconvenience your victim.
After reading the comments you guys left, I'm starting to wonder what level of evil are you? Not the phone charger, but the charging blocks. The plate off the microwave. The straws on the Capri Sun pouches. Come on now, that's taking things a little far. I'm coming for the ends of everyone's Q-tips. An inch off one leg of every chair. The hell is wrong with you, sir? Toothpaste cap! Don't steal anything. Just pour small amounts of water inside of their ketchup bottles. Oh, I hate ketchup jizz. That's the worst. The wand. The women know what I mean. Yeah, we do. That's just fucking cruel.
What? Keep missing
it's all right.
I'll tell you.
I might have naffed up and done 2 seconds instead of 3 today because I was making the other TikTok video before. Very sorry.
It's all right. Oh, God, that was funny.
So go on then, Mitch. You're breaking into someone's house. You only get to steal things that inconvenience them. What are you stealing?
Ooh, see, I wouldn't steal anything. I think that's unethical. But what I would do is replace all of their toilet paper with the toilet paper from the cheapest motel in Alabama.
Oh, you nasty.
You know, the sort of stuff that doesn't absorb any liquid or solid for that matter.
Yeah, Sisal paper. Oh my God, that's.
So I'm sorry. We're going with the fecal answer, Barman, but I got to go with the toilet paper switcheroo. Would be a good one. I think most people are creatures of habit, so I think moving their keys. Not moving their keys, but doing a couple of times and put them in really unusual places. My favorite being the refrigerator.
Yes.
That's a place I can honestly say I would never look for my keys.
You'd have to think there's something wrong with your brain to look in the fridge for him. Though I do take the mick out the wife when she's watching telly because she picks up the remote, walks away from the telly, and then puts it in the kitchen area. It's like, what are you doing? Well, I don't know. So, okay. A good one that I do find, though, is just turning all the batteries around in all the remote controls.
Oh.
That was being an evil one. Go on, Colin, have you got a new one for this week?
No, I still like my replace all can openers for left-handed versions. Yeah.
Yeah, but see that's a switcheroo. That's not stealing. That's the creative transposition.
Yeah.
Oh, Tusk is evil. Tusk would steal the scrolling wheels from our mouses.
Savage.
No, before, in the olden days, you used to be able to take the ball.
Yes.
So
We used to
that would be
pinch them in school because they bounced.
Did you see Surf's mom left her keys in the freezer once?
I just saw that one, yeah.
I'd like to see what were the 3 minutes that led up to that decision.
Oh, Wad and Toad, I'm cutting holes in the unopened bags of things like cereal. Oh. That
Steal
would
all
be
the
evil.
fish knives. Oh, that's pretty harsh.
Yeah, it is a bit.
Now, there's the one little question left to ask Mitch because he brought up the Sisal toilet paper. Do you know how to use one sheet?
Dude, I
One
was in the
sheet is
U.S.
plenty.
Army. I know how to. I'm in the U.S. Army. I can do it. I can do it with a quarter of a sheet if I have to. Okay.
Oh.
I prefer a whole sheet.
Oh yeah.
And it also, and I don't want to go down this road. Maybe we should have just a show about that. Maybe that's not a bad idea.
A show about explaining how to use a toilet paper.
Correct. Like how to do it with a quarter, how to do it with half. You get a little extra. You get a little slack with half a sheet.
Oh, I think this whole conversation has gone down the pan. Right, moving on.
Yeah, a very quick one. Ardwin, if we're talking replacing, I would replace all QWERTY keyboards with AZERTY keyboards and the other way around. I add to that, swap the keyboards, but change all the buttons around so they still look like the QWERTY and things like that, because that's really going to confuse the shit out of people. And then, go for it.
That's just fucking cruel.
What is it that makes Australians different?
Well, we do drugs differently.
Is that so?
Oh, you betcha. When they do drugs over in America, in Europe, they go clubbing. They get on a party boat and dance about like lunatics. In Australia, mate, if you get on it, you get to work, son. You go and fix a fucking fence or some shit. Yeah, that's why employees are all getting drug tested these days, to make sure they're fucking off their head. It's about productivity. I'm a landscaper, and you see all those hills behind us? Me and the lads put those up in 2 weeks on a massive MDMA sesh. We fucked up though, actually. They were supposed to go over there. Yeah, that's going to be a kind of a job. But you only get out what you put in, don't you?
Oh, that got on top of him pretty quick.
Oh, where's OK Boomer gone? We need to ask him if he's right, because he was in chat earlier. I bet he's gone to bed now.
Oh my word!
Did you like that one, Colon?
Jin Shiu's suggestion to take one shoelace from each pair of shoes and hide them in the dryer exhaust.
Oh, that's evil. Oh, no, worse. Just cut a couple of inches off each shoelace so they still look like they've got shoelaces, but they're not quite long enough to tie properly.
Or they think their feet are swelling.
Yes. Never again, what the fuck did I come back to? Go check the mail and I found this playing.
You've been here before, never again. You know exactly what you're coming back to.
That's true. That is true. Oh, Carl Edwards more evil. Cut them in the middle. And Dora, I don't have shoelaces. Yes, that's because I stole them all, Dora.
Well, I'll tell you, being a human being we're privileged.
What's this we?
Okay? We're privileged. Okay. The fact that we're even discussing, the basic fundamental essence of reality is astonishing to me, because no other animal seems to take any time at all to do this.
That is
so
true.
Humans are clearly a special lot. Okay?
That we know of. Maybe that's what the cats are doing when they're singing to each other when they're being really noisy.
Right.
Yes.
Now, how did we get this way? How did we get this way? Now, you might say, well, we evolved this way. And it was there's some purpose as to why humans became intelligent in the way that we have become intelligent. Clearly, we're like 6,000 kilometers apart, but we're having a chat. I mean, it's astonishing, right? How did we get this way? I'll tell you, there's a theory, Terence McKenna's theory, which is actually very interesting, and I want to share that with everybody for their consideration. All human beings come from Africa, period. All human beings come from Africa. Everyone here, everyone you know is African. Just to put that out there. We all come from Northeast Africa, which at one time was a rainforest, the Sahara rainforest. And everything was great. In a rainforest, the great thing about a rainforest is there's plenty to eat in a rainforest, so long as it remains a rainforest. But over time, things changed. The magnetic field of the earth changed. The tectonic plates changed, blah, 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 blah. Not going to bore you with that. Suffice to say, the climate changed. The climate then changed such that the Sahara rainforest became the Sahara savanna and became a grassland. Okay? Became a grassland. Guess who came to visit? The cows. And human beings can connect their survival directly to that fact. We were able to become civilized because we were able to domesticate cows, goats, sheep, cats, dogs, etc., and put them to use so that we could build up civilization. However, Terence McKenna has another interesting theory, which I really like, which is that when you have cows, you inevitably have cowpats. And when you have cowpats, you inevitably have psychedelic mushrooms.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay? And that it would be unthinkable that the curious ancestors of our human race would not have tried them. And now we have the most astonishing growth of brain capacity and unfolding in evolutionary history, happening right around the time we discovered the cow. Okay, now what happened then? Well, the climate continued to change. Okay, climate continued to change. What was the Sahara savanna became the Sahara desert. And human beings, in order to survive, had to depart. And they departed in every conceivable direction. And they took their cows and their sheep and their cats and their dogs and their goats and their armadillos and their whatever, and took them with them. And that's how human civilization as we know it came about, because the advantage of psychedelic substances, for example, I'm not saying you should, but if you happen to ever try a psychedelic substance, you'll notice that your vision becomes clearer. Your actual visual acuity improves. So that's a huge advantage in, for example, hunting. If you want to hunt, if you want to eat, and all you have is a pointe stick, okay, you want to have the best visual acuity possible. You down a few cowpat shrooms, and all of a sudden you can see clearly. Tremendous advantage of predation. So I think if you guys ever want to check out Terence McKenna, just search for him on YouTube. Be prepared to be very astonished at first.
It's all for the drugs.
But it's our legacy, and here's why I went through. This is where I took up 15 minutes of your show to explain that, because I think it's our legacy. I think psychedelic activities, I'll leave it at that, are the human legacy. It's how we became human. Okay, and it doesn't just mean to take drugs, because I can tell you when people jump out of an airplane, that is the reason why people enjoy it is because it's a psychedelic activity. Your brain thinks you're going to die, and things happen when your brain thinks you're going to die. And that's why people drive fast cars, and that's why people play, football, and that's why I'm saying this is the expression of that psychedelic activity. They even talk about it. They say, oh, the runner's high. I'll never know, but they claim that if you run, and you run for a long enough time, that it becomes a psychedelic experience. This is our legacy. So why am I even bringing this up? Because I love that video. I thought that was great, and I highly recommend that if it is something that appeals to you and you can do it safely, to try it. It's our legacy. We owe it to ourselves to explore the psychedelic world.
Hell yes. The turtle move. Excuse me. The turtle moves ads, and then we found beer, and it all went downhill from there.
Yeah, right. But we discovered the mushroom before we discovered the beer.
It's true.
Yeah, and barman, DK.
Yes.
And we discovered.
I hunt with little cocktail sticks. I generally catch little sausages.
It's quite good.
And you know, we discovered the 420 before we discovered the mushrooms.
Even better.
And there's archaeological evidence that we've been using it for some 12 to 15,000 years. So happy 420, everybody.
Damn.
Just said hi to Keela in the chat as well for the sheer hell of it.
We did.
Right,
Hi, Keela.
so next video.
Next.
What do you call a vegan who eats honey?
Oh, fuck.
A murderer.
Glenn Treefucker, professional vegan.
The only time I would eat meat is my wife's placenta.
Glenn Treefucker, professional vegan.
There's been a tapeworm living inside me for 2 years now. I named him Jerry. He has as much as a right to live as I do.
Glenn Treefucker, follow for more vegan quotes to live by.
I've got a whole set of his. I think Crafty put it right. Lol the fuck. I think we broke Mitch.
Yeah, you broke Mitch.
No, dude. I have to. I don't want to rat anybody out, but I have to keep agave juice in my house. Do you know what that's like? Do you know what it's like trying to make a what the hell is that drink with the honey in it and the gin?
Mead.
Not
with honey and gin in it.
Oh yeah, it's probably an American thing. Well, this is the popular drink now. It's this drink with gin and honey. I don't really. Gin is not really my thing. But when one of my wife's friends comes over, we must have it with agave syrup because honey is bad. Now, I can tell you that when you eat honey, no bees perish for the sake of your honey. Come to think of it, it is the product. It is the essence of life.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's the pure essence. It's created to sustain life.
My dad used to keep bees.
Right? Oh, really? How fascinating.
Yeah, he had.
How many hives did you have?
At the height of having them, he had 12 hives.
God damn, that's a lot.
Yeah, so he had to cut it back a bit.
Well, back in the days where American government funded education and stuff, which we don't do anymore because we don't think it's worthwhile, we actually had a hive in our high school in the garden, and it was amazing. It was a really interesting experience keeping after them. You learn a lot. For example, you learn that human beings aren't as smart as we think we are, because we say stupid things like, well, human beings are the only animals that can communicate. Bullshit. Human beings are not the only animals that communicate.
Hell no.
Bees communicate. It's amazing to watch them communicate. They communicate through dance.
They dance
and through
pheromones as
chemicals.
well.
Right. Isn't that amazing?
It's really cool. Quick, before you do, Colin was just looking to get in.
Yeah, just found that one for you, barman. It's called a bee's knees. So when I come down next time, my girls will be asking for one.
Okay, I shall get some honey in. Just got enough time. Right, go on, Mitch. You were going to say then?
So you would
we'll let
think.
him finish that sentence.
Okay. I said you would think that would be something they'd be excited about because no bees are harmed in the production of honey, but that's the most absurd thing about veganism, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, one of the important things with Dad was making sure the colonies were fine, checking. He was like, he had Welsh honeybees, which don't get varroa mite, which is a big problem for some beekeepers and things like that. I could do a whole video on the stuff I've probably forgotten on that he's told me over the years, but it might be worth getting him on one week and talking about bees. That'd be fun. But more video. Hit the video.
I just had a dispute with a female friend of mine about a difference of opinion. I mentioned to her that my beard trimmer was going up the chute, so I told her I needed to get a new one. She then said to me we might as well replace the second one while you're at it. At this point I was rather confused and wondered what the fuck she was on about. She goes to me, oh yeah, the second one, and the one you would use to do your downstairs as well. I tell her I used one trimmer to do both. At this point, she and possibly some people watching this are a bit disturbed. She says to me, "Oh, that touches your face and your balls. That's disgusting." Oh, sweetie, I have 3 key arguments for you. Number 1, I know for a fact that my beard and my downstairs region are clean. If you own a trimmer for each region, that just tells me one of those regions ain't exactly hygienic. Either that or you have crabs. Number 2, as blokes, we are renowned for giving our downstairs a good rummage every now and again and sniffing our fingers afterwards. Don't question it, it's a guy thing. Number 3, do not come at me with that shit, because I know for a fact that multiple pairs of bollocks have slapped you around the face a lot of times in your life. To which she replied, fair play. Keep it breezy, people.
That was awesome. Right, before I'll very quickly do this, then we'll get to the next one because I feel like we'll break Mitch even more.
Yeah. And it's that was good. That was good.
That was good. This one's actually from Mitch. Thank you very much, Mitch, for $4.20 US dollars. Happy 420, everyone. Smoke now. 1, 2, 3, go. Thank you very much, Mitch. Very much appreciated. My pleasure. Colon, do the next one. Let's see who we can break.
I have regular with my daughter because she uses my bloody shaver, not the electric one, but my normal razor.
Just tell her you use it to do your ass.
Unfortunately, I don't have a hairy ass. Have you, Barman?
I don't know. I can't see back there.
I can tell you just before we go on to the next video real quick that people seem to, on video, have an awful lot of compunction about putting their faces into people's genitals. But it seems to me in real life sexual situations, those boundaries gotta go out the door.
Oh, yes.
Just wanted to plug that in there. Sorry.
Oh, yes. That's all right. Go on then, Colin. Press the next one. We've got 12 minutes to go.
All aboard!
It's just that guy who's singing. I couldn't get over how amusing and happy he looked.
I'm chair dancing totally.
Hey, it's a good one. Nothing so funny, but it's just that guy. He just looks so happy.
Really?
And a very quick one. Ardwin for €4.20. Thank you very much. Every day is 420 here, but I still hope a happy one. Thank you very much, Ardwin. I shall stick that in the thank you room as well. And the next one might actually get a talking point, so we might end up being the last video that we do, because I think it will get a talking point. So if we don't get to the next ones, they will obviously all go live after all of this, just so everyone knows. If you want to watch the rest of them, you can. But yeah, be prepared for talkie. Go, Colon.
Okay, playing now.
Your preference is transphobic. You will only sleep with biological women. Anybody who has gone through a transgender change from male to female has always been a female. Just because they used to have a penis doesn't mean that they are invalid as somebody to date. Secondly, could you please address the rudeness and insults that you threw my way? Otherwise, I will no longer be responding to you. Thank you.
I feel like I probably said a lot of rudeness her way. And right, I'll be very clear. Everyone has their own sexual preference. Personally, the idea of dating someone who used to have a penis is slightly off-putting, because that question's always in the back of my head. Was theirs bigger than mine?
Is that a problem with Gentiles? I mean, help me out here. I don't get it. What's going on?
It's just a sexual preference of just like, meh. But I know some people who are, I wouldn't care. It's like, well, fair enough. I can still say that person's attractive. Just like, nah, I don't want to go to bed with you. Same as like, I wouldn't go to bed with someone with a really harsh Scouse accent, because I find that off-putting.
Well, like it's just a matter of finesse, right? Because it's like the word love. Because I could say, for example, I love the sarcastic barman, for example. And it doesn't mean, I shouldn't think, of any sort of impropriety. We're both married men after all. Yeah. And same thing. I mean, we are just going to have to wake up to the fact that the world is not black and white.
Oh, hell
Even
no.
the sarcastic barman isn't black and white. He's got a little bit of red in the bow tie. And, we're starting to learn more about the human race as we become closer and closer together because of social media and learn more about each other at large. We realize that there's a lot more kinds of people out there than we thought. It's just like you never had heard of like the British Kennel Club, and all of a sudden you discovered, oh, look at that. There's such a thing called the Portuguese water dog. Well, who the hell would have thought of that, right? Why would you need a water dog in Portuguesia? Portuguesia. Sorry, I just killed the closed captioning. By the way, I just thought that
that's all right.
Murdered it. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of kinds of people.
Oh yeah.
Period.
I don't have a problem with those people, but yeah, Colon, go for it.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, obviously Mitch brought up the psychedelic mushrooms and everything before, and obviously on a bit of a trip with, probably in the same room with the barman, I wouldn't kick you out of bed. But then again, I'd have to be on a lot of mushrooms. I think we might have lost him for a second. So Mitch.
But you see, there's the problem. The problem is just being off-put by someone's sexuality is not homophobia.
Nope. It's
nope.
Okay? It's homophobia is acting out on your disgust. Right? Yeah. It's opening your mouth. Because, one of the truisms about the world is whatever's going on in your head, well, that's your problem. It's what comes out of your mouth that's our problem.
Yes. Yeah, I would never be horrible or abusive or anyone who's transitioned or based on their sexuality or anything like that. I just might not find them as attractive to go to bed with. Meh.
I'm all set for going to bed with people right now in my life, so it's really not a problem. I have many, many friends, barman. I have so many friends, dude. I was a programmer. I was working in New York City as a programmer. I was making $33,000 a year in 1985. I was living in Brooklyn in the 80s in New York City. It was wild. I met all kinds of people. And when I say all kinds of people, I mean kinds of people that when I look back on the 80s, I'm like, God damn, I cannot believe how many kinds of people I met. And so really, isn't it about yourself when you put those artificial fences up for yourself? What are you trying to prove? I say you're attracted to whomever attracts you.
Yeah.
Right? So, I'm not ashamed to say I know quite a few. I don't hang out with them, but I know them that are transvestites, men who are men that dress as women. I know a lot of transsexuals, people who have transitioned to a gender. I am trying like hell to get used to non-binary people that I know. Let me tell you, wrap your head around that for a while.
No, that confuses me even more.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it some other time. I don't want to burn showtime on that.
It's all right. We're going to do the raps now, but I was like, yeah, it's just something confusing. I saw it in there and I was like, I've got to talk about this at some point because I feel like it's just one of those. I should have put it at the start. We would have probably spent an hour talking about that. Jesus. But I'll save that for another show. That'd be a good one for Camden in 2 weeks' time. I'll remember that one. Colon, is your hand for more talking or just to remind me of the time?
That was to reply about the mushrooms, so don't worry about that one.
Coolio. So yeah, just looking at the time, we've got about 4 minutes to go. Is Mr. S doing a 9 o'clocker tonight, Co?
I haven't heard anything from Mr. S, but I know somebody was going live at 9 tonight.
Oh, I know Critical Cripple should be live at 9:30. So if everyone wants to go over and watch that one afterwards, hopefully they will. I'll set the rest of the video to be live after that. Any comments? Let us know whatever you thought of everything tonight down below. And we've got, as I remember, Crafty Keeler for next week. We do. We have a Crafty next week. Apart from that, Mitch, have you enjoyed yourself?
I think I have, actually, and I hope we do this some other time. I really did enjoy it. I think this is an awful lot of fun. I think we should definitely expand to 2 hours, and I'll think of something else later.
I think we could easily do a 2-hour show most weeks on here, but this is nice. The 1 hour, it's easy for people to watch. Colin gets back to his granddaughter, and I get back to the wife.
I get it.
Just as I finish, she'll be walking in the door after walking the dogs, finishing up the pub, and it'll be like, perfect.
No, let's do it again, man. I really, you allowed me to tell 2 of my favorite stories to your crew, so I really appreciate that.
We like the guest talking, and we don't mind it at all. And we're still perfect for time, so it's all good. On that note, Miss You'll See, I think I'll start talking about the new trimmer I've got for my balls, because I use that on my face as well. And while I'm doing that, you can press the ending button thingy, and then no one has to hear about me shaving and things like that.
I'm quite interested in you shaving for a second or two. So
press the button. Yes, next scene.
What razor do you actually use? Is it one of those band things that are being advertised all over the show? Because we could actually contact them and see if we can get sponsored.
On my face, I use a Bold King, and then for electric trimmer, I think it's just a Remington, whatever, just a standard, boring jobby. But the Bold King on the face is really nice, actually.
Oh, okay.
See, very boring. You thought it was going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I was. I was just wondering if you tried to use a blade.
No,